What's currently stopping you from dating? Story 1. I am pretty reserved. I refuse to use Tinder and I don't post pics on Instagram. Nor I want to make the first step, so it's pretty hard for a girl to reach me out and vice versa. However, I am seriously thinking about finally asking out an amazing girl that goes to the same gym as me, but ID can't. Story 2. Being married put a stop to it for sure. But prior to that, there was a 12-year window between the divorce of my first wife and meeting my now wife where I saw no one. And I was saying that my reason for being single was that my self-worth was lower than my standards. Meaning basically I was thinking anyone who would be willing to date me would have to be either too crazy or too homely for me to be attracted to. So eventually, I decided to work on myself and finally put myself out there. Story 3, hookup culture and things that have become normalized in dating that aren't healthy for me. I'm taking some time off to focus on getting my life in order. 6 months I am aiming for. I would love to focus on getting in better shape, as I am a plus-size girl and am turned down a lot for dating because of my weight. I've had plenty of offers for FWB, but I can do that again to myself. I'm hoping that when I am ready to date again, I will attract healthier people if I feel better about myself. At least I won't tolerate as much bullshit if nothing else. Story 4. Nothing. I just don't think it's worth the effort anymore. If I find someone cool, that's great, but I'm not actively seeking it out. I tried really hard last year to work on myself, and I actually met almost all of my goals, which is awesome. Lost a bunch of weight, got a good pay raise, did lots of stuff I was too nervous to do before, like traveling and going to events like movies or restaurants like myself. I tried hard to do stuff I thought would impress people. In hindsight, I'm proud of myself, and it was a great year of self-improvement. But dating just sucked. I saw lots of lying, disinterest, selfish behavior, and a general lack of effort. I met a couple cool women, but I just didn't give them that spark. Put me in a bad place mentally and was exhausting. So I'm just doing my own stuff. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, I'm still happier now than I was then. Story 5. I had a really bad relationship that ended earlier this year that has genuinely caused me to be repulsed by the idea of someone needing me emotionally or physically. So I'm taking this time to listen to that and to intentionally not date for the first time in my life. I'm working on building up friendships and my own sense of self that was hurt by the relationship. Story 6. My environment, area where I'm from, is not the best, nor the surrounding areas. Would love to find love, but yeah, realistically not in the right headspace for it. I had more to offer years ago. Been through so much the past 2 years, which is sad since I am like in my 30s. I am like a shell of my old self, but weirdly a bit more confident, which I personally find strange. But yeah, life would definitely be better with a significant other if the feeling was mutual between each other. Story 7. The fact that such a tiny number of people understand the ace demi spectrum. Last time I dipped my toes into dating, he said to me, "You're lucky I'm so patient with you because I don't think many other men out there would be." So I decided I'd rather stay single than encounter him or any of these men in question who prioritize hastily meeting their sexual desires at the expense of making their partner feel unsafe. Find somebody who wants that too, but don't accept my boundaries hoping I'll change them for you. Signed, Tired and Traumatized. Story 8. I think my depression. Most days I feel like I don't have the energy or desire to do anything. I just work, eat, and sleep. Because of that, I feel like I let myself go. I'm not as skinny as I'd like to be. My room is never clean. I'm not put together, and I don't really take care of myself, etc. I've always felt like I'm stunted or behind other women my age who can get up and get ready for the day and are always keeping themselves groomed and looking nice. I feel like no guy would want to like someone like me at this current state. It's kind of sad, but I also like being alone too, so I'm okay, I think. Story 9. Not as over my ex as I want to be. In the quietest moments, I daydream about marrying her. We were way too soon to even think that, but we clicked so well, or so I thought. How do you go from that kind of connection back to, so what's your favorite color? But also trust issues. She'd asked me to be her girlfriend, then a few months later dumped me and said she just didn't like me and wasn't sure if what she thought she felt for me was real. I don't think I can trust anyone like that again for a long while. Story 10. Going out of my way to do things I don't want to do to find people doing the things I don't like doing doesn't seem like a very productive way to spend my time. If I'm going to find someone that I want to be with that wants to be with me, I'd like it to be during activities we both share interest in. Story 11. No woman I'm interested shares the same feelings. For this reason, I've tried to figure out how I can improve myself because in my gut, I feel like there is something holding me back. The issue is, I can't figure it out and no one is willing to tell me what it is or they don't know either. I thought it was my looks, but even posting them here to Reddit people seemed to say I look good enough that it shouldn't be any major hindrance to my dating life. I fucking hate that no one has the willingness to cut the BS and tell me straight up what the issue with me is. Story 12. It's so exhausting, and as a single parent takes so much work. Unless they're also a single parent, they aren't going to get it. How much trouble goes into getting a sitter, getting the kids ready, paying for a sitter, worrying while I'm away, and for what? Dinner? Vapid conversation? And add to that, I'll be out at least $120 for said sitter, and I'll probably insist on paying half the check, so it's a massive net negative for me. Story 13. Settling into the fact that I'm myself and there's nothing wrong with me. Once that's done, I can figure out what I want out of a partner, and that can make the process a bit easier. Plus, every time I've tried dating, I end up with the best dude of the lot as a friend. I would like to take a pause in all of that. Story 14. Disabled, can't work on welfare. Lots of stigma, because most gay men around my age 28, 30 have careers or they're looking at big plans or are a lot farther ahead in life than I am. If I do find a guy who just wants a relationship and not to really build a life together, my life situation makes this very difficult. I can't get married or I'll lose any medical insurance I have. Then they're turned off because I conceal carry, and a lot of guys don't like firearms. One obstacle over another. I'm 28 and I've never had a relationship due to these things, but I can get ass or hookups without an issue. This should be nice, but it's annoying sometimes. Story 15. I gained weight and I feel self-conscious. The guy I have a crush on just lost a bunch of weight, and in my mind, why bother having a crush on him? He got in shape. Why would he want to date someone out of shape? As a woman, I feel really torn down the middle. Do I wait for a man to crawl out of the woodwork who likes me at my current size? Or do I risk the 99% chance of getting rejected for being heavy? I see so many posts on here and TikTok. I feel like men have made it quite clear they don't like fat chicks. Story 16, I'm very picky. If it has to be a man, from 5'7" to 6, 0 TI, from 17 to 19 TI, you are a little chubby, it's okay, take care. A little skinny, it's okay, take care. I have a kink with insecure boys. Needs to have a lot of patience because I'm a yapper, and sometimes I'm all shy and introverted, while the other times I'm all bold and extroverted. You have acne? Cutie. Glasses, Ty. If you don't know something, don't act like you do, dumbass. League of Legends is banned from my standards. If you cheated once, would leave a girl for me, where the other men simply don't talk to me, disgusting little shit. But I'm too ugly. You deserve better than someone like me. No one likes me. Shut up. Good hygiene, Ty. I'm so Sigma, Riz. No, if you have a lot of questions, I'll answer each one of them. Same with the overthinking, I'll over-explain. Obsessive, I like it as long as you don't ask me to cut off my girl best friend. I would marry her if I was a man. Know your limits. The teasing is my favorite ways to fall in love. Use it with knowledge. I'll stop here. Story 17. I'm just not ready, and I'd rather be alone and get in a healthy relationship eventually than keep dating whoever gives me an ounce of attention. I know right now I would attract people who I don't want to spend my life with, mainly because I lack self-love respect. Additionally, I just got out of a lengthy abusive relationship and am aware even if I found a good guy right now, he'd have to deal with what's unhealed from that which I feel is unfair. Story 18. I've had several long-term relationships in my life, and now in my mid-40s, I'm just tired of how badly everything ends. Years of great stuff, then average to bad stuff, then bad stuff, where you try to convince yourself it'll get better, then the point where it all goes up in flames. I think I maybe just want peace instead. I also realized in the last year that I have work to do on myself, and I don't want to get all entwined with someone if I'm not settled in myself first. Story 19. I feel like I'm being creepy if I talk to women I don't know, and all the women I do know are in relationships, or I am not interested in them. Also, I refuse to use dating apps just out of principle. I hate how they are turning the beauty of human relationships into a hyper-competitive transactional market. Story 20. I am quiet and would never make the first move. I am rarely anywhere that it would be possible to meet someone. I've tried dating apps and no one I tried to talk to kept my attention. Plus, the apps are weird. I won't try them again. I really am not the selfie posting kind of person on social media, so people don't really see me there either. Plus, I won't add anyone I don't know or know of. I am picky and have to feel something special, or it's not worth it. Anyone that has made interest in me clear is not anyone I'm interested in. Story 21. I think finding the right person. I've gotten a lot of rejections recently, and honestly, I'm just happy that I've been persistent and aggressive, within reason, enough to go out there and make myself available for different women. I'm confident with where I am at in life and where I'm going, and I think if I just keep trying, maybe one will eventually stick, LOL. Story 22. Seeing so many breakups and watching as almost all of my uncles and aunts have been remarried, and my parents were the last ones standing until about 9 years ago and didn't think it took a toll. but most of my brothers and sisters have trust issues. BC of our past in observing our family's relationships end due to cheating most of the times. Social media is so easy to hide anything and makes it more convenient. I never thought I'd get cheated on until I figured out this man had 2 phones and 3 Snapchats and 2 Instagrams and a deactivated Facebook. I've come to terms that I want to get married, but to the right person. So dating will just lower my self-esteem even more and make me more anxious than I already am on the daily. I'll let it find me. Story 23. The fact that I know what the general dating pool is, and the fact that I have to go to places I don't like to ask random women for a number or social. Dating apps are pretty much null and void. Used them for a few years on and off. The pool where I am is both small and kinda shit. Random DMing can work, but you have to prepare yourself for the mental hammering you get on your self-esteem and ego when most women leave you on scene or don't even check what you wrote. If you have a lot of friends, you might find someone, but that's assuming you have lots of friends and you keep mixing friend groups. Burnout. I'm burnt out from trying, to the point of subconsciously saying the effort is not worth the gain. Other crucial things in life are going pretty well, all things considered, so I can focus attention on improving those factors even more or improving other aspects in my life. Story 24. Don't really have any crushes anymore. Last time a girl had a crush on me and I found out I was too awkward to confront her and I avoided her. I got scared of her and blocked her on my social media, even though I liked her and said my brother stole my phone and blocked everyone when she asked. I don't think she believed me, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. Basically, I cannot talk to girls if I have feelings for them, especially if they feel the same way. The second closest I've gotten was when my friends basically bullied me into asking a girl I liked out. I went up to her, trying not to laugh like a maniac. I just started at her until she said hi, to which I instinctively responded by screaming, die, and punched her water bottle into her face. Story 25. This weekend I've realized that I truly don't want to date or put myself out there. I've been single since November, so I've been going through the motions of grief from ending that relationship. This weekend something clicked. I'm very comfortable being alone, doing my own thing, going at my own pace. I wouldn't say it's stopping me from dating. I have zero desire to even try. I don't think I'll want to date anytime in the near future, if ever again. Story 26. The age group around my space seems mad younger than me or mad older than me. I've got work to do on myself before I feel presentable, which while I have the assurance from others I'm fine, I've got the work to do on the thoughts of why I have the work to do, then there's the work to do on all that. Trust issues to work on, coming to consistent peace in an environment that doesn't currently pro.oat that. Story 27. I'm not a conventionally attractive person, so I try to win women over with my personality. Problem with that is, I never meet anyone, and dating apps are even worse, because if I match with someone, I end up being the only one carrying the conversation. I've had friends, of varying genders, tell me that I'm a great person to be around. Some have even said they feel comfortable and safe around me, so I try not to think that I'm unwanted. Story 28. I've been really stressed out and depressed recently, after a work injury, and haven't been able to find any actual medical help for over a year. It's pretty overwhelming. I really don't want to drag anyone else into these things I'm going through. It wouldn't be fair to them, so I just stopped looking altogether while I try to get better. Story 29. The realization of just how horrible my mental health is and how codependent dating will find codependence, no matter how much you try to avoid it. It's weird, I can find dates, but not friends. None of these dates would be healthy. They are all love-bombing codependents that are afraid to be alone. Story 30. I go through phases of wanting a relationship, but I've always been introverted, so I like my routine and alone time, so I go through contradicting emotions. I also am not very confident, so to get the energy and ambition to ask someone out is really just not there. I also am attracted to girls way out of my league, so that doesn't help either. Story 31. I have trust issues, and because of the nightmarish life I've lived as a man, I don't want a woman suffering because of me. Also, I've still got some responsibilities left towards my dad and brother before I off myself, so there's that. It gets lonely sometimes, it does. But then I pick myself up from that well and start grinding again. The excitement of the grind is what keeps me awake. Story 32. The self-awareness that I would not make a good or reliable partner at this point in my life. Years of apathy and self-destructive tendencies, coupled with the commitment avoidance that my mind has decided is my default state these days. You know when you were in school and you had a huge project due in a month, and even just thinking about starting that project made you feel literally ill, panicked, and completely disinterested. That's the exact feeling I get when a girl I thought I was interested shows any semblance of interest back to me. Even the thought of responding to a text makes me feel carsick and as if I'd rather do anything besides respond. It's not great. Story 33. I read this recently. The right doors won't open for you until you are the version of yourself that's supposed to walk through them. I've been working on myself, and I have a few goals that I think I need to accomplish single before I'm fully ready for a relationship. So putting a little more time into those things before I put myself back in the dating scene. But I do always add, if Prince Charming were to fall in my lap, I certainly wouldn't push him off.